I remember getting my first ever Seed of Light and buying Spectral Blade with it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Just Soul. In this video, we are going to be talking about Blind Well, everybody's favorite activity from, when did Forsaken come out? Hey, Google. When did Forsaken come out?
Forsaken's initial release date is September 4th, 2018.
Okay, thank you. September 4th, 2018. So, 5 years ago. As of Season of the Wish, they brought it back, quotation marks, and it's a train wreck, in my opinion. I know that I am not the only person who saw this when we first did the seasonal, when we did the new seasonal, like, week 1 mission, where everyone was like, what is it? No, this can't be it. This can't be it, where they make us do Blind Well. And, like, it got so bad that they had to tweet about it, where they were like, okay, so we realize you guys aren't very happy. It's only week 6. In week 1, you have to do Blind Well, which is whatever. But, you know, whatever. I get their reasoning, but it's also kind of a terrible reason. The whole, oh, but it's more difficulty in new rewards. Didn't ask. Straight up, didn't ask. Okay, I'll be honest. An activity from 2018, a planetary patrol activity from 2018 should not be difficult. I know that, like, we've kind of, like, lost what the point of power level is in the past couple of years, because now we have this whole, like, being under-leveled thing, which in some activities I like being under-leveled. And then others, like a patrol zone, looking at you, Neomuna, I don't like it. Now, of course, you have the whole, like, exotic activity in Neomuna, and I'm okay with that being above level because, you know, you get exotics from it. But you don't get exotics from Blind Well. Not only did all they do was make the content more difficult, we didn't even get new content. It wasn't even different. We didn't get new enemies or new objectives. It's still just sit there in the little bubble killing enemies for 15 minutes. And then you fight a boss that has been in the game for 5 years. It hasn't changed. I would have literally rather this just gone completely under the radar. Whether they didn't even tell us, or they just like threw it in a tweet or something. They'd be like, oh, by the way, we made Blind Well more difficult or whatever, and now we made it less rewarding, so that's pretty cool. Which is the second part. That's part 2. Of course, we all know that Season of the Wish is rather lackluster in rewards. I mean, look at Warlord's Ruin. That was personally my favorite dungeon. I love Warlord's Ruin. I love the fact that it has 3 bosses instead of 2. It's super cool, and the setting and all this stuff. I like snow. I like Iron Lords personally. So, however, the loot, I don't think there is anything I have been less interested in ever than a sniper that has no perks on it remotely at all. Like, it's not even like, oh, well, you know, it's got PvE perks. You know, it's not good in PvP. It's got PvE perks. It doesn't have that either. But of course, this isn't Warlord's Ruin. That's the perk. The other than like the sidearm, the other ones suck. Loot from Blind Well. They made it worse substantially by a lot. Now, how do they do that? Well, it's simple. They put a new icon on the Dreaming City weapons. That's pretty much it. The roles themselves haven't changed. Retold still gets Quick Snap. Vouchsafe still gets Rapid Explosive. It's got Destabilizing Repulsor, but that perk combo sucks because Destabilizing is a terrible perk. So you're still going to be using Rapid Explosive. Waking Vigil no longer has Surplus, so it's worse now. So that's really cool. Not to mention it's already just a bad gun in general because it's not a 150, it's a 140. And they didn't make up for it. And then you have Twilight, still has Snap opening. That didn't change. Sleepless doesn't have Impulse, so it can't compete with any rocket launcher at all. And so the loot hasn't changed. It just got more diluted because what they did was they put in Season of Defiance weapons into the loot pool. You know, the season that's still in the game, the season that you can do the seasonal activity for and focus weapons for. What are they doing there? And I think I read somewhere that they're increasing the drop chance of Dreaming City weapons. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. You shouldn't have had to do that. You should have made it to where when I complete an activity in Blind Well, I get 1, sometimes 2. Especially if I'm doing heroic, I should get 2, and maybe, you know, it's an owl or whatever. But what are Season Defiance weapons doing in the Blind Well? I would understand if it was, you know, Season of the Lost, because that's still Dreaming City related, but it's a season that's gone. Season Defiance is still in the game. You can still play it. Not that I'd recommend it because the seasonal activity sucks. But that being said, you still, you know, you have Prodigal's Return and you have Regnant. Like, you got good guns there. But I shouldn't be playing Blind Well and then I get a gun that I crafted at the beginning of the year. I shouldn't. That is ridiculous. That is so brain rot that they would do that. Blindwell is such, and it was such a stain on everyone's opinion of the season the moment the season came out because we had to do Blindwell. And then, you know, the first time I got a Season of Defiance weapon to drop, that stabbed me too. I was like, what? Huh? But I didn't even get a Dreaming City weapon. I got a weapon that I crafted in April. What is this doing here? And now I'm not saying make Dreaming City weapons craftable, but I am saying to get rid of the Defiance weapons. I don't even know why you even thought of putting them in there. They actually, like, it hurts my brain to think about why you do that. And again, with the difficulty, it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be. It's a match-made, random amount of player activity. It shouldn't be difficult unless I'm doing heroic. It's a shame because we got Coil, and Coil is easily one of my favorite seasonal activities ever that we've gotten since we switched over to the 4-season model. I don't think there's anything that even comes close to Coil. I love the Coil. Okay. And, you know, I've done it. I've match made. I've been in a team. I've soloed Coil. It's a great experience, other than when, you know, Togetherness is on and you're soloing it. But that's for a Coil video that I'll get to making. This is Blindwell. This is me complaining about how terrible Blindwell is. And it's not like it's the Menagerie, where it's something we enjoyed when it came out and we farmed and we grinded for. This is Blindwell. This is an activity I went into to get my Seed of Light on all 3 of my characters so I can unlock supers. This is the activity that I didn't do because it's awful. And the weapons they're good, but I'd rather do the dungeon because the dungeon had unique perks on it. And so people just did the dungeon instead. Or you do the Ascendant challenges because Blindwell is boring. And so when all you do is you slap on a artificial difficulty, making them higher level, and then dilute the loot pool to where we get less of what we want, why would I want to play it now when I didn't want to play it 5 years ago when it came out? That is what I genuinely do not understand. But that's just me. It's my opinion on the absolute fumble that is Blindwell. I love the Coil. I love Warlord's Ruin. The loot is a little bit lackluster, leaves a lot to be desired, but the activities are fun, and that's all that really matters. There are some diamonds in the rough, like the Disruption Break Bow, the Sidearm, Subjunctive. In my opinion, I really like Subjunctive as an alternative to Akilos. Not a replacement of one or the other, but you know, I like to use one. I do like to be able to swap off of Akilos onto something else every once in a while. I have a bit too many kills on it, so I like using something else. Blindwell is an embarrassment that you would even attempt to want people to play. But that's all I have. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions in the comments, so let me know what you guys think, because these are just my opinions, these are my thoughts. This is since day one. I've had this in my head, and I had to express that. Make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more of my content, you subscribe. I'm just Soul, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.